Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, February 23rd, 2023. You know what day it is. It is Asia Focus Day with Sarah, Juan. You know what? I'm not even going to start rambling this morning. Let's just get straight into it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Asia Focus, a weekly section of daily crypto news. I'm Sarah, I'm back. Let's get started with some juicy Asian crypto news. There was an interesting column on Decrypt about price predictions along with Chinese New Year. It's passed a little bit a week ago, but it will be interesting to see how Chinese people predict the prices in conjunction with their biggest holiday. Who doesn't like predictions? So let's go. First, the writer predicted that Chinese communities will invent and export new degen narratives. I mean, I know that Chinese really want to occupy the narratives, but I think there is some truth to it. Chinese communities have had their own narratives for sure, and they have a lot of big communities compared to international communities. The author is actually pointing out that they might provide new narratives in the market that could drive the growth. Second, everything is going on-chain, even in China. That is an interesting prediction. I believe that on-chain transactions and liquidities should be improved in China, especially because the regulations in crypto is not going to be better, so might as well go on-chain. So I hope a lot of products coming from China will be on different chains. Number 3, the flight of crypto people from the Middle Kingdom. What does that mean? I believe that Chinese people are also realizing that working in crypto means working remote. And this means alternative lifestyles for sure. The author explains different kinds of episodes that she experienced, but basically saying that a lot of people are going anon and going remote working in this industry. This is something to do with the regulatory crackdown in China for sure. The episode goes like this. One of the really profound co-founder in Chinese crypto scene asked her to take down one of her old pieces regarding him and his product because he was very worried that he's going to be spotted by Chinese government. You know, the censorship in China is real, and then he didn't want to be seen as someone who is dealing with cryptos. Which is kind of sad, but along with this kind of trend of people going anon in China, she expects the people to actually leave China and then continue to work on crypto, but anon and remote. What do you think? I think these predictions are quite legit and representing the reality as well. Do you agree that these predictions will be also the same internationally? Let me know. Sarah@dailycryptonews.net. The Japanese government is advancing an economic reform bill with notable implications for the crypto industry. There was a legislative proposal published on Friday by Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, and it now has to diet Japan's national legislation. What is so interesting about this bill? Broadly, the bill is designed to foster new business and strategic domestic investment through tech incentives and other financial support aimed at specific strategic objectives. But most importantly, it allows investment firms to directly hold crypto assets, as proposed in September 2023. This is a huge step in Japan's relatively strict regulatory stance when it comes to crypto. The inclusion of crypto asset in the legal framework not only legitimized their use in institutional investment, but also positioned Japan as the most forward-thinking country in Asia. This is the kind of legislation that other Asian countries do not dare to impose. In Korea, for example, the crypto assets enterprise own often registered as debt because they are not allowed to hold crypto assets through exchanges, for example. And why debt? It is just to make sure. You never know you're going to be bombarded with tax if you count crypto as profit or revenue, right? The Japanese blockchain gaming community has approached the Liberal Democratic Party, JDP, seeking help to improve liquidity in Japan's crypto asset market. What does that mean? On February 21st, Ryo Matsubara, director of Oasis, a GameFi blockchain, visited the LDP's Digital Society Promotion headquarters on behalf of Japanese blockchain gaming projects to discuss the current landscape. Matsubara acknowledged that the recently implemented taxation laws, LPS Act, promote ease of doing business for startups. However, he raised concerns about strict regulations that had already dried up liquidity in Japan, which directly harms the growth of GameFi ecosystem. This kind of claim makes sense, but only in Japan, because they are such an advanced society with gaming industry, and probably the only country that makes sense to pursue GameFi blockchain projects. Basically, people amongst Matsubara, they would like the lawmakers to make it easier to invest in crypto industry. I really hope the Japanese government will do something significant. I really do, but I'm not sure if anything meaningful will happen. Similar landscape can be found in Korea too. Gaming industry has been flourishing over many years, and it is one of the industries that could pull through the bear market too. Whatever the government wants the industry to do, but if there is no law, proper law, people won't dive in easily. South Korea's ruling party, People's Power Party, is looking into ways to allow spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, ETF, as part of its campaign promises for the upcoming general election in April, according to a local media report on Monday. Alongside this, the initial public offering, or so-called IEO, of cryptocurrency exchanges, which was also on their agenda of Yoon Suk-yeol administration, is being revisited as a pledge of the People's Power Party general election. For those who don't know, Yoon Suk-yeol is the current president in South Korea, and the People's Power Party, I really don't like the name of this party, and I'm not a supporter of that party. But anyways, this party has not been doing good at all since new administration was elected. Anyways, again, for those who don't remember IEO refers to a format in which a virtual asset exchange leads the issuance and listing of new virtual asset projects. We know that it is going on everywhere, but currently the issuance of cryptocurrencies is prohibited in Korea. So it's a very secret process. Under the radar, you don't know how it's going to be done. Only a few amount of people know how it's done. So cryptocurrencies listed by Korean companies overseas, such as in Singapore, are distributed on domestic exchanges. One of the officers said, quote, "Since there is currently no regulation on issuance in the first phase of Virtual Asset Act, the intention is to lay the legal foundation through legislation containing regulations on issuance and distribution, and then implement it in stages. This year, we will introduce the issuance method first," end quote. The government is also considering delaying the taxation of virtual assets for another 2 years. This is reportedly to follow the trend of abolishing the financial investment income tax being promoted by Yoon administration. I don't know. You see where this is going? Okay, first you wanted to approve crypto ETF, then this party, hush, I'm not a big fan of this party, nor this government. Anyways, this party wants to go over the regulations about issuing cryptocurrency. God knows the next thing we have to do is to understand what the heck cryptocurrency even is. I really don't know. I really hope this news is real, but I think if I'm a politician, I think it'd be easier to let this industry just be rather than figuring out how to make it better. Because it's complicated. It is not on their top priority. And they have not been caring anything about their agendas, political campaign agendas. So now they want to do it? That sounds somehow very wrong. But then again, who am I to know that what Korean politicians want? Koda, the largest institution crypto custody service in South Korea, announced on Thursday that the value of crypto assets under their custody expanded by nearly 248% in the second half of 2023. Koda, which started its custody service for corporations and institutions in 2021, has surpassed 8 trillion Korean won in custody in about 3 years. This is 3 times more than the amount of custody, which is around 2.3 trillion Korean won, that is $1.7 US, that the Financial Intelligence Unit of Financial Service Commission revealed in June last year. Coda said they predicted the demand for cryptocurrency custody would increase in institution, and they also have continued to upgrade their system to a TradFi level. The demand for crypto custody services could rise even further in the future, they think. Obviously, if the ETF is going to be approved, like the previous news said, then the firms like Coda will be a huge beneficiary of it all. That's all for today.
Moving into some other news, is Donald J. Trump softening his stance on Bitcoin? Well, in South Carolina this week, he said that many people are embracing Bitcoin and he's seeing people wanting to pay with Bitcoin, and that he can live with it one way or the other. I just want to note that he did say back in 2019 that he's not a fan of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, and they're just not money, and they're based on nothing and just out of thin air. And since then, he has done NFTs, many NFTs, has millions of dollars in Ethereum, and now he's saying I can live with it one way or the other. Look, this isn't a definitive statement. This is whatever you want me to say right now, I'm going to say, just get off my back about this. I'll figure it out when I'm in the office. That's what this is. So don't go in thinking that he's going to be pro Bitcoin. Just go in with clear goals that you have for crypto or Bitcoin, and make sure that your elected officials meet your expectations. Roughly $3.6 billion in Bitcoin options contracts across some of the largest derivatives exchanges will expire later today. Well, what does that mean? Well, just because they're expiring doesn't mean it's guaranteed volatility. So if the price of Bitcoin touches around $48,000 before they expire, a large number of traders will end up incurring losses. If Bitcoin stays around $48,000 or more, traders will exercise their contracts, and this will be an opportunity for them to take profits. 62% are calls, meaning that traders who have entered the contract are bullish on the price of Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin will be higher by the end of the expiry date, while 38 are puts, meaning that the price is going to drop. But that $3.6 billion that are going to expire today is nothing compared to what's going to happen in March 29th. Nothing compares. Nothing compares to the $18 billion expiring at the end of March. Block, the fintech firm led by former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, made $66 million in gross profit on its Bitcoin sales last quarter. That's a 90% increase year over year. See, the company's fourth quarter 2023 earnings report prompted the stock price of Block to go up. Yes, it went up 12.4% to around $76, $77. That's up from around $67, $68. See, in late 2020 and early 2021, Block invested $50 million and $170 million respectively into Bitcoin. By the end of 2023, the firm had around 8,038 Bitcoin, worth around $340 million. So what does that mean? That means that value is around $400 million today, or well above $400 million. But if you noticed, they only paid around $220 million for it, meaning they're around $200 million in profit. Those are some healthy gains. I wish I had $200 million in Bitcoin profit. Oh, I really wish I had $200 million in Bitcoin profit. But I will also notice that just because their earning reports come out and say that they are in profit and they're taking profits from Bitcoin stock, I still don't understand the whole thing of companies buying Bitcoin, that pumping their books, they're pumping their profits up, and people are like, hey, what a great company. Is Block doing the things that it says it's going to do? Is MicroStrategy doing the thing? Or are they just buying Bitcoin? If anybody has any questions or comments, let me know. Matt@dailycryptonews.net. Reddit is attempting to go public. And we found out because of their SEC filings for their IPO that they bought some Bitcoin and Ethereum. Good for them. They also bought some Matic because they want to pay for virtual goods. And I just want to caution everybody because I have many IPO experiences in the past couple years that I bought after IPO thinking, hey, this is going to be great. It's going to go up. It doesn't. Every one that I bought went straight down. The only one that I broke even on so far is Coinbase. But I bought Bakkt. I also bought, who else did I buy? I bought NIO, which is a electric car company out of China. I thought, hey, you know what? They'll be a Tesla competitor. I did have Tesla. I sold Tesla stock at a profit. That was a good one, by the way. I mean, you couldn't have not hit with that one because it just went straight up for a couple of years. But this is what I expect from Reddit. It's going to go IPO. People are going to ape into it. Number go up and then go straight back down. And I'm also very curious about what Reddit's going to be like in the future. It's been owner and founder and CEO ran. And now you're going to have this publicly traded company. Is it just going to be full of ads? Is it going to go to crap? Are they going to start censoring a lot of the stuff? I'm going to have to say probably all of the above. What do you think? And finally, we heard yesterday that Nigeria blocked access to Binance, but lo and behold, who is still operating in Nigeria? I mean, there was reports that they blocked Coinbase, but Coinbase is still operating. This goes back to my theory. Here's some proof of my theory for the past couple of days. Well, the officials in the Philippines said if the world's biggest crypto exchange, Binance, didn't address the problem by the end of February, that they would block its operations in the Philippines. Time is running out. Remember, the SEC from the United States probably put out feelers to a lot of allies across the world saying like, hey, you know what? We don't like Binance. And maybe there's a political pressure from the United States, from the SEC, from the powers that be to just get Binance out of allied countries. Maybe you'll see Coinbase moving in there. That's quite a possibility. I'm going to predict the future. I'm going to say that there's some sort of market share regulatory capture from Coinbase, and they're going to be the international Coinbase crypto Coinbase. That's interesting. They use their name as the Coinbase, but Coinbase for international clients. Or what about this one? The European Central Bank advisors have doubled down on their criticisms of Bitcoin, suggesting it has failed to become a global, decentralized cryptocurrency and has instead fallen victim to fraud and manipulation. I think the only fraud and manipulation here is what the United States banking sector or people who are trying to regulate this is telling our allies, in air quotes, allies around the world, how to handle this situation. That seems like manipulation and maybe even fraud. So I will stick to my prediction that now Coinbase is working in Nigeria. You're going to see Coinbase working in the Philippines. You're going to see Coinbase working in all of these countries all over the world because why? People found that you can't fight Bitcoin. And now that there's so much money in Bitcoin and so much money to be made, that the fact is that they don't want to fight crypto. They just now want to control it. And Coinbase is going to be the hand of the king. Now, let's get into those crypto prices.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
And the time is 10:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fear agrees at 72. We're greedy. Bitcoin's sitting at $50,891, down 1% in 24. Ethereum's at $2,923, down 1.6%. Tether's number 3. Binance is at $374, down 1.5%. And Solana's at $100, down 3.6%. I know. I said buying opportunity at 103. Well, you know what? BTFD. Buy some more. Pick up some more bags. Not financial advice. Just telling you what I'm going to probably do. Running off the top 10, we have XRP, USDC, Cardano, Avalanche down 3.5%. More buying opportunity. And Tron, kill this coin. Total market cap is in at 1.95 trillion, down 1%. Bitcoin dominance of 51.4 and an ETH dominance of 18.1. That was our show. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, and until then, happy hodling, everyone.